I'm Katie Grossman, the ultramarathon runner sponsored by New Balance. I'm also a creative professional, wife, and mom. Life has gotten crazy, especially after battling a tumor, but running still improves my life, both physically and mentally. Go beyond the run at newbalance.com.
Forensic Psychology is a podcast that provides an illuminating window into the workings of the criminal mind. Now, here's your host, Dr. Carlos.
Giving you an update on the Gabby Petito's case right now. Underwater dive team arrives to scene of search for Gabby Petito's fiance, Brian Laundrie. A law enforcement underwater dive team arrived at a nature reserve in Florida, a large van and boat from the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office, to cover the swampy 25,000-acre reserve in Venice, Florida. Now, this is where Brian told his parents he was headed last week. The dive team called the Sheriff's Underwater Recovery Force is made up of highly trained underwater specialists who were called upon to search for evidence. Northport Police said the arrival of the dive team does not mean anything has been found. It's just a part of the overall search process. The team, made up of about 10 drivers, was requested by Northport Police. The divers are specifically trained and very talented in low visibility bodies of water. The ongoing search comes as investigators try to piece together what happened to Petito, 22, and Laundrie, on 23, on their road trip in a wide Ford Transit van. Petito remains were recovered in Wyoming's Bridger-Teton National Forest on Sunday, and a coroner made an initial determination on Tuesday that she died by homicide. Now, they haven't said how. A lot of times they don't want to, because they want to make sure they keep the specific details to themselves, so when they do an interrogation to the suspect, they'll know. And they'll have a little bit of an edge. So they're probably not going to reveal that. I'd be surprised if they did. But the FBI says they might, so it just depends. If it's too obvious, they might not worry about it. But that's going to make a big difference of how it happened. The couple had posted online regularly about their travels with the hashtag #VanLife, but those posts abruptly stopped around late August. Laundrie and the van, but not Petito, returned to his parents' home in Northport, Florida on September 1st. This is now 3 weeks ago. Her family was unable to get in touch with her, reported her missing 10 days later, so on September 11th. Laundrie, believed to be the last person to see Petito alive, declined to speak with authorities looking into her disappearance. His parents then reported him missing on September 17th. So he arrives at his parents' home on September 1st. They don't identify her as missing until September 11th. I wonder what the story is filling that gap. Saying his parents reported him missing on September 17th, saying he had left home 3 days earlier and hadn't returned. That was the 14th. Some argue that maybe the parents are covering this up. We have no idea. The FBI said the agency would like information from anyone who had contact with Petito or Laundrie, or anyone who visited the Spread Creek dispersed camping area in the Bridger-Teton National Forest between August 27th or 30th. And the days since she was reported missing, Petito's story has become a national obsession. So we'll see how this right now. It's the other information right now. As investigators have used ATVs, dogs, drones, and more as part of their ongoing search for Laundrie at the Florida Nature Reserve, where his parents reportedly said he indicated he was going last week. Laundrie's parents told investigators she left her home in Northport with a backpack September 14th to go to the T. Mabry Carlton J. Memorial Reserve near Venice. A weekend group search and aerial search Monday of the 25,000 acre has yet to yield any answers. Some wonder, is he somewhere else? Was that false information that he was going that way? Is he heading left? Is he heading west? Who knows? The problem is the Carlton Reserve is a vast territory. And it's waist deep in water, and a lot of these areas is dangerous for work crews because they have a lot of gators and snakes and all kinds of things in there. So it's very challenging. If he went there to hide, maybe he did. Maybe he's really familiar with that territory. My guess is he probably went somewhere else, but I don't know. I have no idea. Laundrie's parents, Christopher and Roberta, were questioned at their home by the FBI. In a series of videos, Miranda Baker said she and her boyfriend gave Laundrie a ride on August 29th in Wyoming, and that he claimed he was camping by himself for multiple days while Petito was back at their van working on social media posts. So this is about 2 days before he returned home. Baker said they picked up Laundrie when he was hitchhiking in Coulter Bay, Wyoming, which is not far from where Petito remains were all found. He offered to pay $200 for the ride before he got into the car. In her TikTok videos, Baker said that when Laundrie found out she and her boyfriend were going to Jackson Hole instead of Jackson, he got agitated. He asked that the vehicle stop and got out near the Jackson Dam. She said they dropped him off less than 30 minutes after picking him up. Baker said she has spoken to law enforcement about the interaction with Laundrie. Northport police confirmed to CNN that Baker spoke with the department before posting the videos. CNN has not been able to independently verify Baker's claims. The FBI has not returned CNN's quest, but Northport police said her account is plausible. It's very possible that she did meet him. The question is, why would he pay? If he was on the run, why would he go back home? And why would he stay there for such a long period of time? I'm assuming the parents of Petito called him when she went missing September 11th. He didn't leave till a couple of days after that phone call. So the whole thing is just really bizarre. A man who saw the domestic dispute between Petito and Laundrie said they were talking aggressively at each other and something seemed off. I mean, people argue all the time, so who knows? In a handwritten sworn statement, the witness named Chris, whose last name was redacted, said it appeared the two were arguing over control of Petito's phone. At one point, she was punching him in the arm or face and trying to get into the van. The witness said he heard Petito say, "Why do you have to be so mean?" Chris added that he couldn't be sure if the comment was meant to be taken seriously. So not much there, we just have hearsay. We drove by, another person said, and the gentleman was slapping the girl, the caller says, and we stopped. They ran up and down the sidewalk. He proceeded to hit her, hopped in the car, and they drove off. Finally, her conversations with her mother appeared to reveal she had more and more tension with Brian Laundrie, according to police affidavit. Petito sent multiple text messages and had many talks with her mother during her trip. Florida police wrote an application file last week. On August 27th, Petito's mother received one last communication from her daughter, which she called an odd text. The message read, "Can you help Stan? I just keep getting his voicemails and missed calls." Because the text message referred to Petito's grandfather as Stan, her mother was concerned that something was wrong. Following that text message, Petito's phone was no longer operational, and she stopped posting anything on social media about the trip. One more text did come in on August 30th that read, "No service in Yosemite," but her family doubts she wrote it. So again, the latest of was 32 minutes ago. This is what, 11, this is 2:45 Eastern time right now. And CNN came up with the underwater dive team. And that's the newest thing that we know at the moment. We're going to go ahead, before we wrap up, is take a quick look at Twitter and see if there's anything new that is posted. Sometimes Twitter will come up with some news pretty quickly, but you never really know. So the only thing they've found out so far, obviously, the autopsy results, is that it did show it was a homicide, or suggest a homicide. This is where we're going to find really probably the motive. Whatever happened there, we're going to find out. There's a lot of theories out there. And honestly, folks, I would wait till you get the official reports from the police and the FBI and not people who aren't familiar with the case. I'm just reading you whatever the latest reports are from the news. Following the autopsy, investigators will be able to 100% confirm this is a day-old headline. So nothing new on the Twitter hotline, nothing new on the news besides the dive team. Again, like I said, my guess is I don't think he'd be telling anybody where he's going. It doesn't make any sense, but maybe he does. We've seen criminals do some weird things. That's it for now, if he's guilty at all.
Check out the latest footwear innovation from Adidas, the Adizero Adios Pro 2, which features carbon fiber energy rods that are both lightweight and precisely tuned for a more anatomical transition. Everything from the ultra-light polyester upper to the re-sculpted midsole and the reinvented outsoles are designed for speed. Visit adidas.com to learn more today. Check out the latest footwear innovation from Adidas, the Adizero Adios Pro 2, which features carbon fiber energy rods that are both lightweight and precisely tuned for a more anatomical transition. Everything from the ultra-light polyester upper to the re-sculpted midsole and the reinvented outsoles are designed for speed. Visit adidas.com to learn more today.